What's going on, YouTube, fam? This your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Hood Tales, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For the day one, fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. Let's get right into the story. It's been an old debate that's been going around for decades now. Should you trust your significant other around your friends? For what I hear from everybody, it's a split decision. Some people feel like if you trust the person you are in a relationship with and your friend, it shouldn't be an issue. But others feel like you are leaving your back door open to be crossed if the people you trust the most get too close to one another. I know for men, if you bring a homie around your girlfriend or wife, it's because there's no doubt in your mind, bro wouldn't try nothing slick, and she is loyal enough to not even play them kind of games. But that's always the catch-22. We all think we know the people in our lives until we don't know more, and they do something super cruddy. Most people live by a code. Whatever your code is, I'm sure you expect that from anyone you bring around. Whether it's loyalty, trust, respect, as your right-hand man or someone you call a brother, should look at your significant other as a sister. But we all know, sometimes as men, dudes can't help themselves. If your girl laughs at a joke too hard, looks or stares a little bit too long, or even engage in simple conversation, most men take that as a sign of being able to creep in. All relationships are built off trust. We all know that. But when someone has reason to believe the trust has been broken between them and someone they love and feels like a friend they let into their life is the reason, we just never know how that individual will react. And on this episode of Hood Tales, we'll be taking it to Columbus, Georgia to discuss a case of a man who lost it after thinking his best friend and wife were having an affair behind his back. Back in 2021, 29-year-old Ruben Rich Hensley had it all. A great job with a solar energy company in Atlanta, a nice house in Columbus, Georgia, where he lived, and most important to him, a good relationship. So he thought at the time with his partner, who we will call Jazz for the sake of this story. Jazz and Ruben had been married for 2 years by this time and shared a lot of mutual friends. The couple often kicked it with her homegirls and Ruben's homeboys on their downtime. One man in particular, Ruben considered his best friend, was 37-year-old Marjesta Marty Thornton, who friends and family called Marty. Jazz also considered Marty as a brother or a friend. As time went on, Ruben's and Jazz's marriage had become a little bit strained once his career really took off. His company often had the man drive to Atlanta to fly out of the airport to other states to do jobs. Or when he was in Georgia, sometimes he would have to stay in hotels in Atlanta for work, almost 2 hours from his home with Jazz in Columbus. With his absence, Marty and Jazz allegedly grew real close to each other, always texting, on the phone, going out to eat together, doing favors for each other, even planning on taking trips out of town together. As Ruben was hearing the news through the grapevine from other associates, he became a little bit paranoid of his wife and best friend's relationship. When he finally got home to Columbus, though, all communication was stopped between Jazz and Marty. So when Ruben would address the situation, they would often tell the man, "You geeking. We are all just friends." Plus, Marty seemed to be the type of guy that had no problems getting women of his own. So Ruben charged the noise people were putting in his ear to just being hate. While home with Jazz, things were cool. Marty still hung out with the couple, but Ruben had to go back to work eventually. On September 25th, 2021, Ruben was back in Atlanta for work when something triggered the man and his insecurities grew about Jazz and Marty. He decided he would call his wife, starting from that morning about 10:30. He called Jazz 16 times with no answer at all, so he decided to call his best friend Marty. After 10 calls, Marty didn't answer either. Feeling like the two people he trusted the most were playing games, Ruben hopped in his whip and headed back home to Columbus, unannounced. Once he got back to town, he continued calling Jazz and Marty. After not being able to locate his wife or best friend, Ruben was left with his thoughts, second guessing everything between him, his wife, and his homie. Eventually, Ruben found himself sitting in his whip on Urban Avenue, a few houses down from Marty's family home, about 9 p.m. After Ruben called Marty again, he finally answered the phone. The conversation seemed normal. Marty had no idea where Ruben was at. The call lasted for about 20 minutes as Marty walked outside. Seconds later, multiple shots went off. His family quickly ran to the porch and saw a Mustang fleeing the scene. One family member even followed the car as others called police. Once police got on the scene, they realized Marty had been shot with a .223 bullet from a rifle, and unfortunately, he would pass away from his injuries. The family called Jazz after the situation, who came to the house. A neighbor who had a ring cam showed the family and detectives footage of a Ford Mustang fleeing the scene. Marty's family looked at Jazz as they all thought the same thing. The car looked like Ruben's car. Jazz finally called Ruben back after everything had transpired, telling the man police wanted to talk to him and examine his car. A few hours later, a Ford Mustang was found in another area of the city, burnt up. An examination of the car led to a .223 shell casing being found in the seat, and after running more information on the vehicle, it came back registered to Ruben. But the man had went MIA. A few months later, police tracked Ruben down in Atlanta and took him into custody. He was charged with first-degree hit, arson, aggravated assault, and tampering with evidence. Ruben never admitted to nothing, but a search of his phone records showed he was in the area the time Marty was shot. At his first court appearance, it was alleged Ruben had grew paranoid when his wife and best friend grew closer, which caused the man to feel betrayed and do that to Marty. As the case made its way to trial, Ruben's lawyers argued it should be manslaughter or a crime of passion, stating people were telling the man things while he was away, making him snap. Jazz took the stand. She stated her, Ruben, and Marty were all friends, and she claimed she never crossed any inappropriate lines with Marty. She did admit her and Ruben's relationship was becoming strained. It was also claims of Marty trying to coach Jazz on how to move on in the marriage and be with another person in their inner circle of friends. In the end, Ruben was found guilty of all the original charges brought against him and was sentenced to life without parole, as the state felt Ruben laid and waited for Marty and baited him outside. Rest in peace to Marty. I send my prayers and condolences to his family. Again, I'ma ask the decades-old question: should you bring your significant other in the circle of your friends? In my opinion, if the relationship is solid, it's nothing to worry about. Forget trusting your homie. It takes two. You gotta know your girl. And if he can take her, you can have her, because she wasn't mine anyway. But sometimes when you are dealing with a messy group of friends who want to see people fall or fail, they will paint pictures and make up lies about things that's not even happening to get you paranoid to possibly crash out. This could have went either way. It was never no proof Jazz or Marty crossed that line. But whatever Ruben was hearing from the streets and seeing, he obviously felt he was being played. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. And remember, we gotta succeed, not to fail, so we won't be just another hood tale. Yeah, man, crazy story. Rest in peace, Marty. But I ain't gonna say too much more about this one. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. This is another episode of Hood Tales. This your boy Tony 2 times. Love, fam. I'm out.